Hey guys, me Sam Stein, back again. All I do, just YouTube all day. It's unbelievable. I'm here with Lauren Egan. Sunday, we're going to be talking about Democratic regrets. They have more than a few, I suppose. Before we do that, you know the routine. Subscribe to the feed. We're well over 1 million, folks. This is a great feed. It should be on your to-do list if you haven't done already. Lauren, how's your Sunday going?
Hey, great. How's
Yeah,
yours?
it's good. This is exactly what I
Yeah?
wanted to be doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
Nothing beats YouTubing with Lauren Egan on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we were talking about Sunday shows, and notably, not one but two Democratic senators were asked this morning if they have regrets about voting for Marco Rubio. Now, I guess the context here is what happened with Zelensky in the Oval Office on Friday. Marco Rubio, I don't know if I can do the proper impression. He sat there like this.
Just like pull up the meme. The
But
dude looks so unhappy.
he's not
So
happy.
unhappy.
And yet he put on a brave face and did the whole spin thing where he said Trump was incredible and rightfully standing up for America's interests. And so Chris Murphy and Chris Van Hollen both were asked about their support for Marco Rubio, his confirmation for Secretary of State, and we'll play it back to back. Here's what they said.
I did vote for Senator Rubio to be Secretary of State. I regret that vote because as a member of the Senate, Secretary Rubio was somebody who stood up for American values, American principles. He acknowledged that Russia was the aggressor against Ukraine. He realized that it wasn't Zelensky who was the dictator. And now he's simply taking his directions to the State Department from Elon Musk and essentially parroting the president's position.
You voted to approve his nomination to be Secretary of State. You still think you made the right choice?
Nope, it was a mistake. It was a mistake. I think a lot of us thought that Marco Rubio was going to stand up to Donald Trump on an issue like this, that when Donald Trump decided to align America with dictatorships, again, in order to make it easier for him to steal from the American people, to turn America into an illiberal democracy in which, just like Russia, the oligarchs, the economically powerful people in America rule and the rest of us just feed the powerful.
Two senators both expressing regret. What do you make of it? Is this, I don't know, are they naive to assume that this would come to this?
Well, like when Murphy was like, we thought he would stand up to Trump. It's like, why? Like, why?
Yeah.
Like, what would make you think that? Like, we've seen enough now. Like, no one is going to do that.
That was my thinking. It's like,
I don't.
Was
like,
there
I just
anything
don't
in
believe
history?
that. Like, I just don't believe that he actually thought that. You know what I mean? Like,
So what do you think
come
they
on.
thought when they were voting for the nominees?
I think it was like, all right, we know Rubio. We've been in Congress with Rubio. It could be worse than Rubio, so we're gonna say yes to Rubio. You know,
And there's also this thing. It's also this thing where Democrats feel like they have to show that they are bipartisan in nature, and like this was sort of
right.
relatively
They're
low
acting in good
stakes.
faith. Yeah, right.
Right.
And like, there's a point to that. Like, it could have been worse than Rubio from their perspective. So, is that like the hill you die on? Probably not. But still, like, none of them actually thought that he was going to get in there and act as like a serious check on Trump. At least I don't buy that.
Well, I guess then the question is like, were they naive because the first term didn't show that? There were points in the first term, Trump's first term, where there were some pushback on the foreign policy stuff, but it wasn't like substantial. So I guess maybe.
I don't know. I just feel like the amount of like ass kissing behind the scenes that like Rubio probably had to do to get this nomination. It's like, you seriously think that he's going to turn around and 5 weeks in, like act as some sort of like,
Yeah, well, that's the other
Trump.
thing. What did they expect him to do in this specific moment? Was he going to say, "How dare you, Donald," and like storm out?
I don't understand like what they thought was going to happen, but whatever. They got to do their thing on the Sunday show. Like, I get it, but
right. So you've been reporting a lot on Democrats and the kind of divide that's existing between the party's base and the lawmakers, and obviously there's a lot of frustration out there that the party hasn't done enough to fight Trump, and I suppose there's some frustration that they did saw enough to some of these nominees. Not that they could have held them up. It only takes 50 votes. But talk a little bit about your reporting and how that pertains to this specific situation.
Yeah, I think there's like, a sense, especially among base Democratic voters, that the party could be doing a lot more to be pushing back against Trump. And, I think like Democrats have a role to play in shaping public opinion. And it seems like, these first 5 weeks, they've kind of just like given in, or just like let Republicans kind of like, control the narrative and run with things, instead of like trying to pick fights or trying to sort of shape public
Yeah,
opinion
but let me play devil's advocate. Like,
Yeah.
what could they do? Like, even if they hadn't voted for Rubio, he was going to get confirmed, right?
Totally fair. Yeah, he was going to get confirmed. But it's like, do you want to win on that? Do you want to win on public opinion? Like, I don't know, if you just let like Trump kind of, I think that there's, and like James Carville obviously like made this argument in a New York Times op-ed, what was it, last week, that like Democrats should roll over and play dead.
Right.
So there is one.
Is that like
a
real school of thought? I feel
well,
like
there's a James Carville school of thought that I guess
there's something to it. I just want to explain to the reviewer what he means. Go right?
For it. Yeah.
He basically is saying Trump and Elon are going to dig their own graves, and you shouldn't get in the way of it. And only when Trump's down to like high 30s, low 40s approval rating is when Democrats should start going after him. I don't know if I buy it, honestly. I feel like it also sort of, don't you want to expedite him getting into
that's
the
the thing.
30s?
It's like, we don't know what that timeline is, right? Like that it could happen in a few months. It could also happen in like, I don't know, like 2027. Like we don't know when that's going to happen. Right. So like, sure, if you just want to like roll the dice and see what happens.
It's premised on this idea that like Trump will just fuck up.
There's a lot of history. Yeah, and it's premised on this idea that, again, that Democrats don't have a role to play in shaping public opinion. They do. That's why that argument from Carville, I'm just like, okay, like
I don't know.
I don't get it.
So Bernie Sanders was out today, and he basically was like, I don't agree with that. He's like, I think we have to fight all the fights, more or less. And there's this new sort of burgeoning school of thought among Democrats that they just have to go at it. Like they have to, take more and more swings, that they were almost too passive early on. And I guess that's where this Chris Murphy, Chris Van Hollen stuff is from, is that, there's just no reason to give to Trump, especially if he's going to do stuff like what he did with Zelensky in the Oval Office, or if he's just going to hand over the keys of the car to Elon Musk when it comes to government spending. So that's like the new school of thought.
Yeah. And I mean, I think like if they're actually like trying to sort of, ramp that up a bit, obviously like they're going to have to get a bit more creative than just going on the Sunday shows and saying something.
Right.
But yeah, you're starting to see it like crack a little bit.
Well, that was the other thing is that happened. And I guess this gets to like the whole, can you be more creative and can you be more hyperactive? Like Elon, did you listen to all 3 hours of Joe Rogan with Elon or no?
No. I know you told me to, but no. I couldn't make it. It was like 5 p.m. on Friday and I was like, I got halfway through.
You were at two times speed though.
Okay, I had to. 2 times speed is too intense. It like, I felt like my mind was going to break. Like it hurt. It hurt.
Okay, fine. I will just say I had to do that. Everyone.
Did you listen to all 3 hours?
During the campaign, yeah, I listened 2 times speed. Some people are.
That one wasn't 3 hours though.
It was 3 hours. Him and Trump. Yes, it absolutely was. It was long. Anyways, on the Joe Rogan experience, Elon Musk did.
It is an experience.
It's an experience. He called Social Security a Ponzi scheme, and I'm old enough to remember when that shit would get you in real trouble.
This is where like the Carville thing. I'm like, what? Like they're like handing Democrats like cards for them to play. Like fucking play it if you're trying to win here. Like what are you doing? But
I totally agree. What? And I think the only thing from Schumer was some written statement being like, "How dare you?"
He had a tweet or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's a Sunday. I get it. But no, wait. The episode dropped on Friday.
It's dropped on Friday.
Okay. So it's been a full 48 hours. They've had plenty of time to like, I don't even know. Yeah. Like what? What on earth?
So Bernie was out there and he's talking about it. And I know a few others were talking about it, but like, I just gotta be honest. If you gotta be more, if you want to, it just feels to me like Republicans are at a different pace It's like watching a power walker and a sprinter.
No, it's like
And
it's
sometimes
like,
the sprinter's going to fall on his face. And that's
Dems
the
just feel
score.
like they just feel like so JV right now. It's just like they're playing in different leagues, like entirely.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if they pick it up, but it's not going well so far. All right, next time when there's a Joe Rogan Experience and it's 3 or 4 hours, you just gotta grin and bear it. I'm sorry.
I'm in. I'll do
Yeah,
it.
right. You're a liar. You're just lying. All right, Lauren,
I can
thanks
commit
so
to
much.
the first hour.
That's fine. It gets a little
Okay.
crazy after that. All right, Lauren, thank you so much. Thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. Always subscribe to the feed. Be in touch.
Hey, YouTube fam, if you want to support the Bulwark, the best way to do it is by becoming a YouTube Bulwark Plus member. The Bulwark is truly independent. We have no corporate overlords. We're not settling any dumb lawsuits with Trump. By joining, you help support our work, and you can get a bunch of perks right here on this platform. Ad-free content, bonus videos, live streams, and some emojis of me, which I guess some people want. So come join, come hang out, become a Bulwark YouTube Plus member, and I'll be seeing you in the comments. So behave.